Hi, I'm Lizzie. This video is about sleep paralysis and how to overcome it. I'm a former sufferer of sleep paralysis and I've been free for the best part of 4 years now. It's become apparent that many people out there are still suffering from this, so I want to share with you how I was able to overcome it. A very brief background is that I started to suffer from this about 5 to 6 years ago. It was a time in my life when I went on a spiritual journey, and that resulted in me becoming involved with the truth movement and reading books by authors such as David Icke, who talk about a global conspiracy and a religious conspiracy. That will become relevant later, that was where I was. So at this particular time in my life, I was ploughing through these books and I was wondering what was going on in the world. And strange things started to happen. I started to suffer from sleep paralysis, which, as sufferers will know, would mean that I would go to sleep and I'd wake up in the middle of the night. I'd be fully awake, but completely unable to move and unable to breathe. It felt like I was being held down in a clamp, in a vice, and suffocated. And more often than not, the sense of the presence of some kind of evil, dark spirit all around me. The attacks would last for quite a long time, and I couldn't move a muscle in my body if I tried. And it's completely terrifying. Not only would this happen at night, but it also started to happen during the day. I was not working at this particular time, and I would be forced to sleep almost against my will. Not like fancying a nap or being really tired, but almost being forced to sleep as if I was being sedated or hypnotised. And then I would feel the paralysis again. And during these experiences, I would be desperate to be free because I'd want to get up and get a drink of water or to open a window because I felt like I couldn't catch a breath. And I would think that I got up out of my body and managed to open a window or get a glass of water. And then, to my horror, I'd realised that I hadn't done so at all. I'd gone into some sort of hallucination in which I'd done that, or other people might describe it as an almost out-of-body experience, but I'd not actually moved. It was all my imagination. So this is completely terrifying. And once I actually woke up and there was a figure in the corner of the room, a black shadow. And I admit all of this at the risk of people thinking I'm crazy. I don't care about people who think I'm crazy. I care about people who are suffering from sleep paralysis and want to be set free. I began to Google how I could overcome sleep paralysis and came across some material which suggested the problem may be spiritual in nature. This I did not find hard to believe at all. I had a cat at the time who seemed to be reacting to whatever was in the room and on top of the wardrobe, hissing at it. So the cat obviously thought that there was something going on. It wasn't entirely in my imagination. Long story short, I came across a video that I've linked to in the comments section here that is by Chris White, Nowhere to Run, 1984, and it gives an outline on what sleep paralysis is and how to overcome it. And I'm not going to repeat everything he says on that video. I'm going to really recommend you watch it, because I have found his suggestion to be the true way to stop sleep paralysis. I tried it and it worked, and I was set free, and I'll tell you now how that happened. But before I do, I'll tell you where I was in my beliefs at that time, just so you know that I wasn't, this wasn't a self-fulfilling prophecy. I was really on the fence with religion, God, Jesus Christ. I believe there was a God, but he didn't particularly play any role in my life. I didn't have a spiritual life. And I'd recently watched a film called Zeitgeist, who Jordan Maxwell is involved with, which I do not now believe to be true. I believe it's very easily debunkable. The religion part of this film theorises that Jesus Christ never existed, that it's symbolism for the sun and various other things, but when you look a bit further into it, you find that's incorrect. But that's the recent material I'd read at that time. I didn't believe it because I do know from my educational background that whether you believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God or not, there's historical evidence for his existence. But I'd never believed Jesus Christ was the Son of God. I believed he was a wise man who the people of the time heralded up to be the Son of God because they needed that, or they wanted that. Chris White's video said that sleep paralysis is demonic, that it's demonic forces that have by various means found a way into your life or a way into your home, and that there is a hierarchy in the demonic realm, and that Jesus Christ is the authority over the demonic spirits, that he is the Son of God, and that demons fear his name, and that through believing in him and accepting him in his name, demons will flee. And you can, in his name, send them to the abyss. So what I did when I watched this video is I sat on the end of my bed. I didn't get on one knee, I didn't light a candle. I just said, okay, Jesus, if you're real, help me, because I can't live like this anymore. I wasn't expecting a miracle, to be honest. But one thing I will say is very important. I was at that point in my life seeking the truth. And I was prepared to accept the truth, whatever it was. I didn't think that Jordan Maxwell's Zeitgeist video was the truth. I thought David Icke had some of the truth, but I wasn't sure about other bits of it. Some bits of it a bit too wacky, and they didn't seem very plausible scientifically. But I was on this truth-seeking journey. So I asked Jesus to help me, and I went to sleep. As I said, not particularly expecting anything. What happened in the middle of the night was I woke up, as I normally do, but there was no demonic presence. There was a presence of warmth and love all around me. And I remember it to this day. I've never since had an experience so intense. And I felt that this warm light was going all through my body, from head to my toe. And it was amazing, and it was incredible, and it was most definitely supernatural. It was most definitely not self-manifested or invented. I tried countless times, day and night, to release myself from these episodes of sleep paralysis, and I'd never managed it. But on this occasion, I woke up in the middle of the night. I was not paralysed, I was free to move, and I felt this loving presence all around me. And I went back to sleep, and I woke up in the morning, and I knew that that was Jesus Christ himself, or one of heaven's angels, who had answered my call for help. So I can verify and testify with my own experience that the videos here on YouTube, including Chris White's, are correct when they say that sleep paralysis is spiritual, it's demonic presences. Jesus Christ has authority over demonic spirits. And you have to, if you want to ask Jesus Christ for help, you have to be prepared to believe in your heart. If you're set, if you made your mind up, he can't help you. You have to have an open heart and an open mind. Now, I then asked Jesus Christ into my heart. It says in the Bible, in the book of John, it says you must be born again. And he is asked, how? must I be born again? How does a person be born again? To be born again, you ask Jesus Christ into your heart, ask him to forgive you of your wrongdoings, and accept that when he died on the cross, he paid the price for the wrongdoings of mankind, to bridge the gap between man and God that was created when Adam sinned. I didn't understand all this at first, but I was willing to go on a journey towards understanding. Since I did that, I can say my life totally transformed. I had various health matters going on, and all of them were resolved within the next 6 months. And I got an amazing job that I love, and I was able to completely restart my life. But it's an ongoing battle. I exist in a spiritual battle between good and evil that I know is taking place around me. This might sound out there, this might sound far-fetched, but for anyone who is suffering from sleep paralysis, the whole concept of sleep paralysis is far-fetched, and science can't explain it. Science can't explain exactly why it happens as it happens. There's various theories, but no one can explain the manifestation of demonic presences. The only verifiable explanation for sleep paralysis is that the experience of demonic presences is due to demonic presences that are real. And these demonic presences can be expelled by Jesus Christ if you accept Jesus Christ. And not only will he rid you of sleep paralysis, but he will change your heart and he will change your life in a way you could never imagine possible. So I encourage you to take the advice I'm giving and see for yourself if you're suffering from this terrible condition. Thank you for listening.